Alarms shrieked in the void as Aurora Kane's pulse quickened, the crimson embrace of Calamity's blood moon sealing her fate. In that fleeting heartbeat, ghostly echoes of ancient legends collided with her relentless drive to unearth forgotten relics, igniting a fierce determination amidst palpable fear. The murmurs of an awoken warship danced in the silence of her thoughts, beckoning her into a realm where every secret promised salvation or ruin. Aurora stood alone in the cramped command chamber of her starship, surrounded by holographic maps and time-worn artifacts. The low hum of the engines mingled with the creaks of aging metal, each sound a reminder of the countless journeys through the abyss of space. Faded records and cryptic symbols from civilizations long extinct illuminated her screen, whispering secrets of triumph and despair, a mosaic of histories that both fascinated and haunted her. Outside, the vast expanse revealed calamity in all its desolate splendor. The planet, scarred by ancient cataclysms, lay under the eerie glow of the blood moon, its red light reflecting off jagged rock formations and abandoned ruins. The air, heavy with the scent of rust and cosmic dust, vibrated with the weight of untold stories, each one a cautionary tale of ambition and loss. For Aurora, this mission was more than a scientific quest. It was an internal battle against the darkness within. Every heartbeat pulsed with the promise of discovery, yet each relic she studied also warned of the perils of unbridled ambition. The forbidden warship, whispered about in obscure legends as the blood moon Specter, loomed like a phantom over her soul. Its mysterious reawakening was not merely a call to adventure, it was an ominous summons that threatened to shatter her carefully held convictions. As she calibrated her course toward the enigmatic planet, Aurora's mind swirled with equal parts dread and resolve. Ancient warnings etched into the records now echoed louder than ever, their voices blending with the relentless pull of destiny. In that charged moment, standing at the precipice of the unknown, she realized that her journey into calamity was not just a voyage across space. It was an irrevocable plunge into a mystery that might either redeem her world or plunge it into chaos. A piercing, otherworldly pulse shattered the silence of space, a cryptic transmission that sent shockwaves through the void. Its relentless, rhythmic beeps resonated deep within Aurora Kane's core, igniting a desperate urgency that rivaled the heartbeat of the cosmos. The signal's ancient cadence whispered promises of forbidden power and unspeakable danger, compelling her to decipher its mysterious code before time unraveled. At the helm of her starship, Aurora's eyes flickered across cascading holographic streams of data, the encoded message, laced with archaic symbols and flickering anomalies, pulsed in unison with the blood moon's eerie glow over calamity. Every digit and glyph hinted at a force long dormant, an awakening that could either herald salvation or doom. Her fingers trembled as they danced over the control panels, the cold metal grounding her swirling thoughts. "This isn't just a distress call. It's a summons," she murmured, her voice barely audible over the hum of the ship's engines. Far across the galaxy, in a stark, high-tech command center pulsating with the glow of digital warfare, Commander Dante Voss watched the same signal come to life. The room, filled with the relentless beeps of advanced machinery and the sterile precision of military order, echoed with his measured commands. His eyes, hard as forged steel, tracked the data streams across vast screens. "The awakening is underway," he declared, his voice a calm edict that sliced through the tension. "Prepare our fleet. No expense must be spared. We will harness this power and reclaim our dominion." His orders rippled across the room, stirring his subordinates into a swift, coordinated frenzy. Back aboard her starship, Aurora convened with her loyal crew in the narrow bridge, where the air was thick with anticipation and dread. The murmurs of worried technicians and resolute pilots intertwined as she addressed them. "We stand at the precipice of history," she asserted, her tone a blend of fierce determination and measured caution. "The signal calls to us, challenging everything we know about the past and the future. We must follow it, no matter the cost." Her crew exchanged glances filled with a mixture of hope and trepidation. One young navigator whispered, "What if this summons is our undoing?" To which a seasoned engineer countered, "Or the key to unlocking our salvation." Their voices laced with uncertainty underscored the gravity of the moment. With every system primed and the coordinates locked onto the enigmatic source, the starship surged forward into the cosmic expanse. As the vessel broke free from the familiar confines of charted space, the blood moon's ominous light grew ever more dominant, casting long shadows that danced like specters across the void. The awakening signal, now a steady beacon in the dark, promised a confrontation that would forever alter the delicate balance of power among the stars. Aurora's starship surged into the cosmic night, leaving behind the familiar constellations as it plunged toward the dark heart of uncharted space. Outside the panoramic viewport, a kaleidoscope of swirling nebulae and glittering star clusters unfolded, their vibrant hues clashing with the ominous void. The vessel trembled as it encountered violent cosmic storms, a tempest of scintillating plasma and rogue asteroids that hammered its hull with the relentless fury of a dying star. Amid the cacophony of alarms and the shudder of the ship, Aurora gripped the controls, her focus unyielding despite the adrenaline that throbbed through her veins. Deep within the cockpit, the rhythmic thrum of the engines blended with the low hum of advanced navigation systems, punctuating her every thought with a steady pulse. She exchanged terse, determined words with her crew over the comm system. "Adjust course, shield integrity is dropping," she barked, eyes scanning the ever-changing tapestry of space. The young navigator's voice, laced with both fear and excitement, echoed back, "Recalculating, Captain. Hang on tight." In that moment, every star outside seemed to whisper secrets of forgotten battles and lost empires, heightening the silent promise of danger and discovery. Far from Aurora's resolute journey, Commander Dante Voss orchestrated his fleet in the cold depths of a militarized command vessel. In a command center awash with holographic charts and streaming tactical data, Voss's steely gaze fixated on the advancing trajectory of Aurora's ship. "The target is on course," he ordered with unyielding precision, his voice a quiet command that cut through the murmurs of his subordinates. "Ensure every asset is primed. We must intercept before they reach calamity." His words were laced with a calm that belied the storm brewing in his heart, a storm of ambition and ruthless determination. As Aurora navigated through corridors of starlight and shadow, an undercurrent of foreboding tightened its grip. Whispers of the warship's ancient origins and the secrets it might unleash reverberated through the ship's data streams, stoking an ever-growing sense of inevitable confrontation. With each passing moment, the gap between discovery and disaster narrowed. The void around her seemed to pulse with an uncanny life, as if the universe itself were converging on this singular fateful journey, a voyage into an abyss where every light might hide a lurking threat, and every shadow could be the harbinger of an all-consuming war. Aurora's starship descended into the shadowed valley like a silent predator stalking ancient secrets. Below, the blood moon blazed at its zenith, drenching the jagged landscape in an otherworldly red glow that transformed the barren plains into a surreal battlefield of light and darkness. The colossal silhouette of the blood moon Specter, an ancient warship steeped in myth and mystery, emerged from the shroud of centuries, its form both graceful and menacing, as symbols of a lost era flickered along its hull. The warship's surface, once dormant and cold, now pulsed with a deep rhythmic energy. Mysterious glyphs, etched into alien metal, ignited in luminescent cascades, as if awakened by the very heartbeat of the cosmos. Every ripple of light and shadow on its surface told a story, a legacy of wars fought in the void, and promises of power beyond mortal reckoning. As Aurora's vessel came to a cautious stop, the ground itself trembled beneath the warship's reawakening, resonating with a sound that was both mechanical and eerily organic. Stepping onto the rugged, scarred terrain, Aurora felt the weight of millennia pressing down on her. The air was thick with the tang of oxidized metal and ancient dust, each breath a reminder of forgotten conflicts and the quiet fury of a relic now stirred. Her heart pounded as she advanced toward the warship, every step echoing on the cold, cracked earth. The spectral red light bathed her features, revealing determination mixed with trepidation, the resolve to uncover truths hidden in the relic's depths, and a silent warning of the peril that lay ahead. Without warning, the eerie silence was shattered by the clamor of approaching forces. Commander Dante Voss's forces, clad in dark imposing armor, materialized at the valley's rim. Their formation was tight and precise, the unmistakable signature of a military advance determined to seize the warship's enigmatic power. Laser fire crackled in the charged air, and the sharp, commanding voices of Voss's soldiers pierced the stillness. Advance. Secure the perimeter. From behind the relative safety of her ship, Aurora's crew scrambled to their positions. The soft hum of advanced scanners and the rapid tapping of command consoles filled the void as she issued orders with measured urgency. Hold your ground. Protect the entry. We need to study this relic, not weaponize it. The tension was palpable, a collision of ideals and destinies, as the two forces, curiosity and conquest, met at the threshold of an ancient enigma. In that charged moment, the warship's awakening deepened. The spectral glow intensified, bathing the entire valley in pulsating light. Every groove and contour on its surface vibrated with a mysterious life force, as though the vessel were communicating in a language beyond human understanding. The interplay of alien technology and natural wonder was breathtaking. Ethereal patterns of light danced along the ship's contours, igniting an almost hypnotic allure that beckoned Aurora and her crew closer, even as the threat of armed conflict loomed large. Amidst the cacophony of clashing forces, a secondary signal emanated from deep within the warship's core, a resonant rhythmic beacon that seemed to merge with the very pulse of the universe. It was a call both beautiful and terrifying, hinting at ancient wisdom and unspeakable power. As Aurora's gaze locked onto the luminous heart of the relic, she knew that the secrets it held were as dangerous as they were profound. The vessel was no longer a silent relic of the past, but a living testament to the forces of ambition and destiny. In the valley under the oppressive, mesmerizing glow of the blood moon, time itself seemed to slow. The fate of countless worlds now hinged on the decisions made in these perilous moments. As energy blasts illuminated the darkened horizon and orders were barked across the chaos, Aurora braced herself for the inevitable clash between the ideals of preservation and the ruthless hunger for power. The ancient warship, pulsing with both promise and peril, stood as the arbiter of an uncertain future, a future that would be rewritten in the crimson light of the blood moon. A frigid silence reigned amidst the chaos, as Aurora stepped from the shattered remains of her landing module onto the scarred surface of calamity. The charged air vibrated with the remnants of energy blasts, and the blood moon overhead cast a surreal, trembling light over the battlefield. There, beneath the ancient warship's pulsing glow, she finally encountered Commander Dante Voss, standing imposingly at the threshold of the reawakened vessel. Their eyes locked across the void of conflict, and in that heartbeat, a silent duel of wills began. Aurora's gaze shimmered with both defiance and sorrow. Every line on her face told of the sacrifices she'd made in the name of knowledge and preservation. Voss, his posture unyielding, exuded the cold certainty of a man who believed that power justified any means. "Stand down, Aurora," Voss's voice resonated, deep and measured as he gestured to the armed soldiers encircling him. "You and your ragtag crew have no idea what forces you're meddling with. The power of the blood moon Specter is not a relic to be preserved. It is a weapon to reclaim our rightful dominion." Aurora's retort was soft but fierce, each syllable dripping with the weight of her convictions. "You mistake ambition for control, Dante. This isn't about conquest. It's about understanding and safeguarding a legacy that transcends mortal greed. We're here to learn from the past, not to repeat its darkest chapters." Her words, though measured, echoed off the alien metal of the warship, carrying a palpable intensity that silenced even the murmuring winds. The air between them seemed to crackle with the collective heartbeat of the cosmos. As they exchanged barbed remarks and moral parries, the warship itself stirred, responding to the charged emotions that had seeped into its ancient circuits. Unbeknownst to both, deep within its core, an alien intelligence began to awaken, a silent sentinel that had slumbered for eons, waiting for a moment of reckoning. High above, the blood moon's crimson glow intensified as spectral energies cascaded along the warship's hull. The vessel's luminous glyphs pulsed in a rhythmic cadence, as though they were breathing in sync with the rising tension below. Suddenly, a low sonorous hum filled the air, a sound that transcended language, reverberating through the bones of every onlooker. The warship had become a living entity, a sentient relic that now chose to intervene in the fateful clash. "Do you hear that?" Aurora whispered, her voice quivering with a mix of wonder and alarm. She turned to her crew, whose faces mirrored her own uncertainty. The hum grew louder, a symphony of alien resonance that seemed to question the very nature of their conflict. "It's as if the ship itself is speaking to us." Voss's eyes narrowed, his grip tightening on his plasma rifle. "Silence. This is no time for superstition," he barked, though his voice betrayed a hint of unease. For a fraction of a moment, the rigid confidence in his stance faltered, confronted by the undeniable presence of the ship's awakened essence. The sentience within the warship reached out like tendrils of light and sound, merging with the ambient energies that danced around them. In that surreal instant, images and echoes flooded the minds of both adversaries, a cascade of memories from an era long lost, interwoven with the collective hopes and regrets of countless civilizations. The revelation was both terrifying and transcendent, dissolving the black and white certainties each had clung to. Aurora's voice broke the silence once more, softer now, laden with a profound mixture of awe and sorrow. This ship was not built as a tool for war, but as a keeper of knowledge, a witness to the rise and fall of worlds. Its power is not meant to subjugate, but to guide us towards a destiny where history teaches, rather than destroys. For the first time, Voss's hardened features wavered, his eyes reflecting the turbulent interplay of conviction and doubt. "You speak of ideals that are nothing but dreams in a time of real politic," he replied, his tone now strained as he wrestled with the unexpected intrusion of the warship's ancient voice. "Dreams do not win wars, Aurora. Control does." A tempest of conflicting emotions surged through the space between them, a maelstrom where ambition, ethics, and the raw power of forgotten eras collided. The warship's resonant energy intensified, enveloping both figures in a cocoon of transcendent light that blurred the boundaries between man and machine, past and future. In that radiant moment, the battleground seemed to dissolve into a vast tapestry of shared destiny, where every spark of life and every echo of history was interlinked. The alien intelligence, speaking through the pulsating glyphs and rhythmic hum, posed an unspoken ultimatum. Either the conflicting forces would continue their eternal cycle of strife, or they would dare to forge a new path, a destiny where the lessons of the past would illuminate the future, rather than ignite its downfall. A final charged silence fell as Aurora and Voss stared into the abyss of their own choices. The charged energy of the warship, the blood moon's relentless glow, and the murmur of ancient voices filled the air with a promise of transformation. It was a moment of reckoning, a turning point where the collision of destiny and ambition would either shatter or redefine the future of countless worlds. In that suspended heartbeat of time, neither could retreat from the inevitable truth. Their personal destinies were now irrevocably entwined with the awakening of an ancient power that demanded a choice that would echo across the stars. In the aftermath of the furious battle, silence fell over Calamity like a shroud. The valley lay scarred, its jagged earth pockmarked by craters and strewn with remnants of shattered technology. The blood moon's crimson glow had dimmed to a somber, haunting ember in the sky, as if mourning the toll of ambition and strife. Aurora Kane stood amid the ruins, her uniform torn and her eyes reflecting both loss and newfound wisdom. The once proud forces of Commander Voss lay scattered, their fierce commands silenced by the unpredictable might of the warship's ancient power. Aurora moved slowly, each step weighted by the memories of fallen comrades and the echoes of past civilizations that the warship had silently borne witness to. The alien vessel, still pulsing with a quiet rhythmic energy, hummed softly, a resonant reminder of a legacy older than the conflict itself. Its luminous glyphs flickered like distant constellations, silently narrating the rise and fall of empires and the cost of unchecked ambition. Amid the wreckage, the air was thick with the scent of scorched metal and ancient dust, and every breath seemed to carry whispers of forgotten eras. Gathering her remaining crew near the luminous heart of the warship, Aurora's voice trembled with a mixture of sorrow and resolve. We stand at a crossroads where the mistakes of the past must guide us toward a future defined not by conquest, but by understanding and preservation. Her words, soft yet piercing, rippled through the silence, uniting the survivors in a shared determination to rebuild. One of her closest allies, a weathered technician with eyes that had witnessed too many battles, replied, "Perhaps in these ashes we can forge a new beginning, a destiny where knowledge heals rather than wounds." As Aurora surveyed the remnants of the battlefield, her gaze fell upon the fallen figure of Commander Voss, his once imposing form now a symbol of hubris undone. In that poignant moment, the warship's alien consciousness seemed to reach out, a final silent admonition against the abuse of power. The celestial echoes of the past mingled with the present, weaving a tapestry of regret and hope that promised redemption amid ruin. In the lingering twilight of calamity, where the scars of war blended with the soft light of distant stars, Aurora made a solemn vow. The ancient warship, with its unfathomable wisdom and perilous allure, would not be exploited again. Instead, its secrets would guide the creation of a future where technology and ethics converged in a delicate balance, ensuring that history's darkest lessons would never be repeated. With resolve hardening within her heart, Aurora turned away from the ravaged battlefield, ready to lead her people into a fragile new era, a future sculpted by the echoes of the past and the promise of tomorrow.